not so much a comical situation, but there's there's the story of the first pod pump, which is bad. I used to be a smoker, and as an ex-smoker, I am more sensitive to the smell than your average smoker. So I mean, somebody could walk by me, I'm like, hello, even 7 or 8 years after the fact. So our first con ever, we're at Rice University doing AlCon, and this gentleman comes in, and he was, to put it lightly, an excessively heavy smoker. And that's putting it lightly. This is someone, by description, who closes himself up in a very small room and will burn through at least half a pack of cigarette in 2 hours. And that's just judging by how much I used to smoke and how I know I was presented by 2 other people. He got in one of the pods, and I noticed it when he was going in. And then when he came out, and I guess it was around 12 o'clock in the afternoon when he got in there. When we shut down at midnight, I could still smell it in the pod. And this is with really heavy rotation of people going in and out of that pod. So I went home that night, came back with a can of Oust, and sprayed the inside of that pod. Well, that became a common requirement for us to go to cons. And because of the movie Monsters Inc., whenever you hear us say we have a 2319, that means that.
Huh?
Do what?
Now I get it. You said it earlier, like, I know it's familiar. Now I get it.
Yes.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Okay. A lot of our jokes have pop cultural roots, and you will hear if you're ever at a show with where we are, you will always hear us making internal banter, and we crack each other up all the time. But one of the funniest things that happened was along the whole 2319 lines, we're at, once again, this one time at MechCorps. And it was the year that Q mentioned earlier about breaking the environmentals.
Yeah.
You could not swing a cat by the tail in that room without hitting 7 people at the same time. And it got really rank in that room. Very rank. And we're talking about a room about twice the size of this room that we're in now. And all of a sudden we hear this cheering coming from over by the door. We're like, what the hell is that? And we look up, and there is a con representative parting the ways through the crowd, 2 hands up like this, each one holding a can of Febreze, fumigating the entire room. So, yeah.
Oh. Every con has that smell.
No other con had this smell. Because, yes, every con has the people who just refuse to bathe.
Yeah.
Smell people refusing to shower.
Right. But the thing about it is all the other cons have AC.
This one does.
The convention was so overpacked that it broke the air conditioning for the building.
Ugh.
Oh, that sucks.
It's like Q said, we broke the environmental system, and it was bad. I I mean, we were actually doing really good because we've actually had problems with the equipment, our equipment overheating at our former location because our ventilation there wasn't adequate. But we did so much better on the road than we did at our home location because we had better ventilation when we were on the road than we did in our own house, in our own place. Which is just the opposite now because I mean it's probably about 70, 68 in here right now.
Yeah.
And all the pods are very happy.
I can imagine.
Yeah. And we don't have to contend with the brake dust anymore. So, which that's always a bonus. That was a whole story. The dealing with the brake dust and cleaning everything out on a regular basis. Well, it's not that it didn't break. It's not that it was breaking down. It's just that it wasn't adequate to run that place because we didn't have an enclosed area just for the pods. We were in an indoor racetrack.
Yeah, the whole place was like an indoor racetrack, and and it had the fumes and the gas and everything in it and all that.
They were internal combustion engines
Inside.
inside a building with poor ventilation.
Sounds like where I work at.
And it got so bad that some of our customers stopped coming around. They were loyal customers to us. They stopped coming around because they were getting ill. So they upped the ventilation. Luckily, we were right there by one of the doors that led to the garage, so we could actually open that up, and they would turn on the ceiling evacuation fans, and that would help. But then they would open up a can of solvent or something in that garage, and the fumes from that would be wafting right by us. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, every situation like this has its growing pains, and we still have ours. I like the fact that that we've had celebrities in the pods.
Yeah, you had a bunch of people in your pods. You guys had a bunch of people in your pods.
Yeah, well, let's see, we've had Jake Busey, Sam Witwer from Being Human. We've had, I cannot remember her name, the actress who voiced the Baroness in the old G.I. Joe series.
Can't remember her name either.
We've had, we had who?
From Walking Dead, Channel Riggs.
Yeah.
We didn't know it was him, but he was in there.
We had Carl from The Walking Dead. What's his name? Blum. He does the voice for Tom on Toonami.
Steven? David? Something like that?
Hey, Diablo. Yeah. The guy that does the voice for Tom on Toonami.
Don't know.
He also did Jamie from Mega 6LR.
I
Steve
don't know.
Blum, I think.
Yeah.
Might be.
I think it's Steve.
Is it Steve
I
Blum?
want to say it's Steve.
Do we have to
David.
call up IMDb for this?
I think Frog was already doing that.
Watch as we research everything we need to know.
This is really pathetic. This is really pathetic because I usually am the IMDb person to go to, and I'm the one who gave them the tickets to get in the pods.
Actor from Cowboy Bebop.
Yes,
Yeah.
That'd be Steve Blue.
Steve Blue.
Steve.
that's him. Yes.
Okay.
So,
He
so
is
you were
the
saying?
announcer of Cartoon Network's Toonami.
Yeah, that's what I said.
That's the trivia.
Right. So, the funny thing about it was it was one of our first. It was our first year doing MechaCon, and
Once again with MechCorps.
Everything
this
happens
one
at
time at
MechaCon.
MechaCon, boy, are they going to get a lot of advertisement out of this other time, right? So it was our first year there, and we only had 4 pods, and I was roaming around the dealer's room, and they had, for those of you who don't know the show Mega 6LR, the hook of the theme song is "Chicks Dig Giant Robots."
I dig giant. Sorry.
Well, so I'm going to the dealer's room and I see this guy autographing a Chicks Dig Giant Robots T-shirt. I'm like, I look at him, and I knew that he was a panelist at the show. And I walk up to him next to him, and I'm like, so, you ever driven a giant robot? And he looks at me, he gets this really goofy look on his face. He says, are you kidding? He does it in Jamie's voice. He goes, are you kidding? I'm the co-pilot. I said, yeah, no, really. Have you ever driven a giant robot? And he goes, what? And I reached in my pocket, I pulled out 2 tickets that we hand out, and I said, so on the other side of this wall right here, I have got 4 simulator pods that you can actually sit inside and drive a giant robot. What? Here you go. And I was actually on my way to my hotel room to go off shift to go to bed. And then he actually came in and went under the name of Jamie in the pods, from what I'm told. Somebody went in as the name Jamie in the pods. I cannot visually confirm it was this guy, but I did give him tickets.